Okay, we got there in the end. Welcome back, guys. You are back with the STPL. I am your host once again, Kix, and I am going to be taking you on another best of 5 journey between two of the teams, this time from Group B. And this time it's going to be iRk versus NaS. Let's not waste too much time. There is a little bit of sad info about this. For just Terran fans, there is no Terrans in this lineup, so if you do like Terran, you may want to close your eyes or something because there's none here. I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. Here we go. Let's actually have a look at the maps again for week 3, just for the benefit of the people on the VODs. And let's get going from there. So as you can see, we're going to be starting off on Gladiator, moving on to Polaris Rhapsody, moving on to Grand Line SE, moving on to Neo Moonglaive, and then finally, for the ace match, if we get there, it's going to be Judgment Day. Of course, the maps have been cycling out every week. I don't know if you guys have noticed the pattern, but no real need to go into that. Let's have a look at who's going to be playing in this game. We're going to have iRk versus NaS. Starting us off, we're going to have a PvZ between iMbA and DragOn. ZBZ is going to follow between... ZVP is going to follow between Whistler and Kingdom. Norgrim and Z-Lifer, or Zlifer, are going to be playing a ZBZ, and then rounding us out, we're going to have a ZVP between Jerry and Sugo on Neo Moonglaive, so this should be a lot of fun. Let's actually have one more look at the table. This is, of course, not including today's stats, but as you can see, iRk are 2-0 up at the moment, and they're doing the best out of any team right now, so it'll be interesting to see if NaS can hold their own against iRk. Oh man, did I send the wrong... Wait. How have I got the wrong lineup, man? Oh man, stuff changed around, didn't it? Whoops. Wait. Oh, Caxter, okay. Caxter replaced Whistler. It's going to be Whistler versus Lifer, and Kamizerg is going to replace Jerry. So let me just quickly update the overlay, just so it's right, and then we'll go back and just pretend none of that ever happened. I can't believe that. I need to make sure I update it in the thread as well, because I didn't update it in the thread, and that was where I copied it from. But it shouldn't take me too long to fix. So Caxter replaced him, Whistler replaced him, and Kamizerg replaced him. Okay, that's very, very quick to fix. Let's actually just bring up the right screen again. Let's go back in, reintroduce the matchups. It's still going to be ZVPs and ZVZ, so nothing's changed on that front. So as you can see, iMbA versus DragOn, Caxter versus Kingdom, Whistler versus Lifer, and Kamizerg versus Sugo, of course. iRk with a very, very strong Zerg lineup, relying a lot on their Zerg so far throughout the tournament. And DragOn, of course, being a race picker, does not play PvP, does play ZVP instead. So that's why we're going to not have a PvP today. But as you can see, let's go back into the table. As I said, iRk doing really well. NaS haven't shown the best of games so far. This could be their redemption match. And Shinhan Tank is a fictional sponsor I made up just because I used to do a different league. It's the same league but different premise. I'll explain it all later if you want, but basically I can explain as we get into the first game, probably better. As you can see, today we're going to have iRk versus NaS. iRk doing a really good job winning both of their games. Their Zergs, as I said, carrying them pretty nicely. 4 wins for their Zergs and 1 loss. Really well done by them so far, and 3 wins on their Protoss as well. iRk haven't fielded a Terran yet. I'm not sure. I can't even remember if they've got a Terran on their lineup, but one thing I might look to do in round 2 is make it so you have to field one of each race. I'm not really sure if that's something people want, but I think it might be better for the tournament. Maybe we'll avoid a lot more mirrors, but you know what? It's not going to be too bad. Let's actually have a look at what players we're going to have. We're going to have, to start us off, as I said before, iMbA versus DragOn. Now, iMbA, very strong Protoss player, has won his first game. DragOn, unfortunately, losing both of his games so far. He has actually played a ZVP and a PvT, so he's actually lost both of those, unfortunately. But their arena of battle is going to be Gladiator. Very, very nice pun there. I completely forgot it was Gladiator first, but that worked pretty well. Let's go with that. and let's see how it's going to play out. Of course, the EVP so far showing pretty imbalanced towards the Zerg side in my tournament so far, but of course all can change. It's early on. There are still 4 rounds. Some of the maps may stay for multiple rounds, but we may cycle out the maps each round. But of course, you do have the playoffs as well for each round, and the grand final playoffs at the end. So there is a lot of games coming up, a lot of time to really expand on the stats in my database, which I'm kind of excited to do. Didn't get a real chance to do that before, and they didn't really get a chance to do it with Clash for Char either. So I'm slowly building my own little database of foreign and Korean wins, and you know what? It's pretty cool. I'm quite happy with it. And let's not waste any more time. Let's head in to the first game, and it's going to be between iMbA and DragOn. Let's get going, guys. Okay. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom right position, we do have the White Zerg. It's DragOn. And his opponent starting us off in the top right position, close by, or close vertical positions, not horizontal positions or anything, or cross. It's going to be fighting for iRk, gonna see if he can keep up the win streak of iRk so far. It's gonna be iMbA. Now, as I said before, iMbA has actually won the game he's played. He's doing pretty well so far. He's shown to be a very, very good asset to iRk as a team. I believe iMbA was actually the first person who got the... Wait, no, I think it was Jerry who got the first man of the match interview. I'm actually waiting for a few man of the match interviews from people, but people are getting a little bit tardy with them. So I want to make sure that people start getting those in, because I really want to give the players a voice. One of the things I wanted to do with the STPL, and one of the things a lot of other foreign tournaments don't do, is you see people are winning them, like, they kind of remain quite nameless, because oh, iMbA got the first. It was iMbA. I think Jerry must have got week 2. But basically, people in the foreign community kind of remain quite nameless. Of course, you do have a couple of like big names, like DeWalt is pretty big, Eon Zerg, True Touch. People have been around for a long time, but even then, you don't really know too much about them unless you watch them stream. There's no real stories behind them. Of course, there's a lot of drama between certain players. We've seen a lot of that recently. And by the way, we do have a 12 pool coming up for DragOn. Going to be a 12 pool 11 hatch by the looks of it. And the probe is not going to get here in time to stop this. But one of the things I wanted to set out to do with the STPL, give the players a voice, get people to know exactly what's going on with the players, what they do, what their plans are, what they really want to do, get some stories between the teams as well, get some rivalries going, and hopefully use it to try and grow the scene a lot more than it already is. That's my major plan. I'm going to be working quite close together with Zero, Sham2, Doc Holiday, Rapid, possibly Artosis, I'm not too sure. I'm hoping we can get them involved and do what we can to try and increase the viewership across the board for everybody. Of course, there are other organisers, like Red Warrior is going to be involved as well. I may ask Gecko, because I know he does the Brood War Clan League as well. So I just basically want to get anyone involved who does make tournaments and see if we can get as much done as possible, move towards increasing the size of the scene, making it better for players, getting sponsorships and things to increase the tournament prize pool and get more players involved as well in playing, because there's a lot of tournaments going on right now, but they're all pretty fragmented. The prize pools are completely different throughout all of them. A lot of it's crowdfunded, and it would be really, really nice to see if we can get some sponsors coming into the Brood War scene, or the foreign Brood War scene anyway, and try and make the foreign Brood War scene a little bit more legitimate than it is. It's very akin to like the early fighting game community right now. It's not really... Unfortunately, it's not really anywhere near like the StarCraft 2 foreign scene or anything like that, and it's going to be a lot of hard work to get there, but it's going to be a lot of fun to try. I'm going to work really, really hard on this, so hopefully you all do continue to support all the tournaments that are going on right now. I know there is another tournament going on, I think at the minute, I believe it's the... I think it might be the Brood War Clan League, I'm not too sure. Of course there is there is some other stuff going on as well, but do support all the streamers if you can. Try and watch and follow as many StarCraft streamers as possible. Even if you see someone new, try and encourage them to stick around, because the Brood War scene is pretty great. I know there's been some people calling it toxic or whatever, but it's not too bad. But here we go, moving back into the game, kind of stuff's happening now. We actually did have a Forge Fast expand into a gateway, into a Cybernetics core. We're going to have a Stargate coming over here pretty soon for iMbA. And Brood War is still pretty big in Korea. I mean, you do have ASL and stuff like that, but the probe gonna get caught out quickly. It is gonna scout around for this third base, but looks like we are gonna see a more traditional style by DragOn. Gonna be expanding away from his Protoss opponent. Gonna take another third, or another natural even, and that is gonna get him access to a very, very quick fourth. But here we go, Citadel of Adun is coming up before the Stargate, so we're gonna have a DT opening here by the looks of it, by iMbA. And iMbA is going to be looking to do a lot of damage early on. DragOn, his CVP is really good. He's been race picking for a very long time from what I understand. So it's not going to be too bad for him. It's not like we have a situation where like he's just started race picking. Looks like the probe will finally be caught out. Not possible. It may not be for DTs, but we are going to see Zealot leg speed. Of course, the Overlord's going to see the Citadels coming up. If he gets a little bit closer, looks like he'll miss it. This could actually be quite big, actually, if he doesn't scout this Zealot speed. That is going to be a very, very quick attack, but here we go. Another gateway coming down in the main, so it's likely we're going to see a Zealot attack coming out here rather than DTs. And the first two Zealots already on the way. They're going to try and make their way into the natural, and there's no defense here. This could be a lot of very early damage onto DragOn here. iMbA splitting up his Zealots, maybe not the best choice with the links here, but one drone does go down already. Two drones go down, and there's of course another Zealot in the main now. He's going to at least be able to get another couple of drones here, I think. And this is a very, very nice trade. Trading those early aggressive units for economy is going to be a great position for the Protoss player to be in, but is he going to be able to make it into an equal trade? These Lings are doing a really, really good job chasing the Zealot around, and no, does not quite get an equal trade, but of course that is a little bit of lost mining time for DragOn. Of course he does have this third base come up, he's got his fourth hatchery on the way, fifth hatchery should be on the way as well, there we go. And we should be seeing him moving into a Spire and into a Hydralisk Den very, very shortly. Back here we do have the Templar Archives coming up. Gateways as well. Currently there's no actual Stargate, which could hurt him if we do have like some kind of muteless switch coming in for DragOn. Now the important thing to remember is DragOn is a Protoss player mainly. He will know times that Protoss players are weak, and this is certainly one of them, but he's not going to be able to do any aggression right now because he has to defend against the Zealots. This is going to be a pretty strong timing. But it looks like it will be actually completely deflected by the Zerg player. This is of course going to force an Archon. He's not going to be able to wait for Storm. He needs to have that early defense. Looks like the Dragoon will go down and the Zealots will do as well. Pretty good trade for the Zealots though. And Zealots take so long to die, but here we go. He hasn't actually scouted this third base yet. He does not know it's on the way. As you can see, we're going to have an Archon morphing in as the city can't wait for Storm. And we're going to have cannons coming up in both mineral lines. So while the Mutalists are not going to be able to do too much early on, this is a lot of sacrifices that iMbA is going to have to make to be able to defend against this. Looks like the Archon's going to try and pull back. Are we going to get a big shot down on the Mutalists? They're going to move in, but there's a lot of airspace around this base. He's going to be able to fly around for a very, very long time. And as you can see, he's starting to move some Lings into position. We should have that fourth base coming up very, very shortly. Let's actually keep an eye on that drone. But looks like he is going to be spending his money on some units first, on some drones as well, just to saturate himself. Knows there's not really too much going on, but here we go. Looks like he's going to fly, and he's going to dive on the Archon. The Archon doesn't get a shot off, and that's a very, very nice drone. He may even get one of the High Templar. Gets one of the High Templar, then that is going to be a good trade. One High Templar and some Muteless health. Muteless health for one High Templar and one Muter is a pretty good trade. He's going to severely hurt the Storm count. There is only one Storm available for this push. Two Archons, three Zealots, and a DT though. Going to be a pretty strong army, and here we go. The Archon's getting a really, really nice shot off on the Mutalists. They're actually nearly killing all three of them. And he's done the damage he wants to do. He's going to move back. He's moving some DTs in. Is there any detection? There is, of course, the Overlords. He has no Corsairs to push these away. But it looks like he's going to wait to build up his gateway count. It looks like DragOn should eventually be taking this base, so I think he's just a little bit worried about what's coming his way. He's going to add on some more static defense. He's going to add on some more drones. Of course, he does have to wall in at this base with some Hydras and a Sunken as well. Interestingly, he's not going for a Spore, but this DT going to be deflected pretty easily. This could actually go down really, really quickly. Really nice pick off there by DragOn. And that is going to be pretty good for him. But here we go. Looks like we do have iMbA is going to move out onto the map. Going to take this mineral only as his third. A little bit easier for the Protoss to hold. But of course there is these weird triangles of high ground around all of the areas. So it does give the Zerg a high ground position to attack from. But looks like the Mulus going to run in again. There's only 3 of them. They're going to go in for a High Templar snipe if he can. And he's going to scout this third base. There's a lot of Hydralisk starting to be produced. No upgrades yet for the Zerg player. Nice Storm don't go down on top of the Mulus. Almost feels like a waste. But there we go. Both the Mulus do go down. +1 is done for our Protoss player. +2 should be on the way as well. Yes, it is. Fairly standard game so far. And with these Hydras moving out onto the map, he's going to look to take a little bit more map control. And maybe try and put a little bit more pressure on the Protoss. Of course, the Storm count is incredibly low. No storms on these High Templar, and this could be a very bold gambit moving out on the map like this. Without that much storm, this is a lot of damage from the Hydralisk going to be coming in. The Zealots getting on top of them immediately though, and the Archon, if it can get up, is going to do a lot of damage, but no, it looks like he cannot afford to take this engagement. One of the High Templars actually went down immediately in that engagement. And the Hydralisks are going to be able to push on through. iMbA is going to find it hard to hold on to this main base now. Looks like we do have another Templar coming in. It doesn't have enough for Storm. And this could just be too much. The High Templar goes down immediately. Really nice snipe. And such a great engagement by DragOn. As I did say, he does know the times at which Protoss are going to be weak. And he is exploiting that to the max here with his Protoss knowledge. And iMbA finds himself trapped on 2 bases with very, very few units. It looks like he's going to try and hold on with the Zealots, but I think this is just going to be too much for DragOn. There's only 1 cannon here to defend. No Storm available. There may be one here. Yeah, there is 1 Storm, and it's a really good Storm, but DragOn moves his Hydralisk out of the way at the last second, only losing a few. And it looks like this should be enough to actually break on through even. There's units from all over the place coming in. There's no more Storm. Probes have been pulled. There's just too many units for DragOn here. And just outclassing iMbA in this matchup here. He's just doing such a good job. Breaks down the front. No Storms are left. And this is going to have to be the end for iMbA. It looks like he wanted to take a 4th base, but that is not going to happen. More probes have been pulled. He's got a couple of cannons. He's going to try and hold on. He wants to stay in the game as long as possible, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. And we will see GG very shortly, I believe. But still, iMbA put up a good fight. He just over-prepared, I feel, almost for Mutalisks. And he got completely caught off guard by this Hydralisk switch. And there's not really too much he can do. I think he's kind of processing his loss. But he's still holding on. He doesn't want to give up just yet. Doesn't want to kill his unbeaten streak, but with Lurkers here as well, DragOn doesn't necessarily even need to push in. He could just sit on top of the ramp. Was this a probe? Yes, it was. He may have gone for the expansion, but he's going to try and hold. He does have 1 more Storm. Is it going to be a good one? Looks like it is. Going to push the units back for now, but there's just so many units for DragOn. I mean, how on earth can you ever possibly hold against this? He's going to try and flee back to his mineral line. But iMbA is playing his best. GG. And DragOn is going to take the first win